Welcome to the Filipino American Woman Project, also known as TFAW Project for short, a podcast show that features stories and life lessons told by American women of Filipino descent. We're your co-hosts, Jen Amos.
And I'm Nani Dominguez.
And thank you for joining us.
If today's conversation resonates with you, text us and let us know at 415-484-8329.
And if you want to show us some love, buy us boba at buymeacoffee.com/Jen and Nani.
It says coffee, but we love boba. Again, that's www.buymeacoffee.com/Jen and Nani.
Awesome. With that said, thank you all for your love and support.
Now let's get into the show.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Filipino American Woman Project, also known as TFAW Project for short. I am Jen Amos, the creator. I was going to say like founder, but I like saying creator. I'm the creator and the co-host of the TFAW Project. And of course, I have my amazing co-host with me, as always, Nani Dominguez. Nani, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, everyone. What's going on?
Yes. And if any of you, AKA Nani's dad, cares about the audio quality, Nani and I are using our professional mics today.
Yes. How do we sound? Let us know. Send us a text.
So yeah, we're trying it out. And, in talking to our editor, Dennis, he's been just giving me a lot of feedback about my other mics. And so I finally decided to get what they call an audio interface, which apparently, and I'm learning this for the first time, it turns analog sound into digital and it makes it sound like the quality is the same, something like that. You guys can tell me otherwise, but I've heard it on my husband's interviews and his shows as well. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. Plus I did win this audio interface at a raffle at the Asian American Podcasters Association Golden Crane Awards last year in December. So it's like, I should probably start using it, especially now that I have these fancier mics. Anyway, moving on. Nani, this is one of those weeks again where it is you and I, and I'm happy about that because before we know it, Nani, you are going to go on maternity leave.
I know. And then it will never just be you and I again. It will be you, I, and a screaming baby in the background.
And then Dallas.
Yeah. And then a barking demon dog.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on over here.
Yeah. Nani has a lot going on in her life right now, which is really exciting. And I was telling her this offline, but, especially in my young 20s, a lot of my friends, I started to be what I called mom friends. When I started to go to like local networking events in suburbia, who do you run into? Moms.
Yeah.
Moms like doing the hustling,
working moms,
working moms being able to, bring their kids with them when we go on coffee dates and network and stuff like that. And so for me, I've heard very often in, let's say, someone's situation, such as myself, who doesn't have kids and everyone around them is having kids, sort of how lonely it starts to feel. And I've heard it through my friends who are still, that single friend today that doesn't have kids. And I have to say how fortunate I am to have been, in a sense, raised by a lot of working moms, especially in my young 20s, because I think our transition is going to be seamless. I hope that it's going to be. I know it's going to be new for you as a mom, but for me to have a friend that is a mom, I'm just excited to see the evolution of our relationship and even, I guess, your perspective on the show, Nani.
Yeah, no, I know that that's something that we had commented on a lot in our earlier episodes when I first joined you on the TFAW Project, and how, stark it was to us that the pivot that people make when they enter into motherhood and how identity becomes kind of like top of mind. As you think about like, how am I going to shape my child's identity? How am I going to pass these like cultural values, traditions, beliefs, etc., onto them? And what is it that I want to pass on versus change the narrative on? And so I feel like I've done a lot of that on this show already by myself, but I'm sure that there will be things that come up that I'm just not able to plan for or like see ahead because I'm not a parent yet. So it will be an interesting journey, and I'm grateful and lucky to have you as a built-in auntie to walk alongside me and literally be, you're basically here in my home with me, experiencing this whole pregnancy thus far. And like I just said, the baby will be here right next to me when I start podcasting again. And so I don't know what kind of a break to expect that I'll need after childbirth because I've obviously never done that before. So I don't know what to expect, but hopefully I won't be out of commission for too long and we will be right back at it. Plus screaming baby soon. Soon after.
Yeah. And so just so our listeners know, Nani and I have been cranking out interviews a lot at least at the time of this recording in June, because just to prepare for her maternity leave. So even in the weeks that she is not with us, you may not notice that in the interviews that get released in the upcoming weeks. However, during the commentary weeks where it's typically just Nani and I, you all are in for a treat because we are going to have a special co-host who's been on the show before. I'm not going to reveal who it is. But yeah, I'm really excited to have a sub co-host with me during your absence, Nani. And I'm curious, obviously we can't predict what it's going to be like when you are officially a mother. You technically are a mother right now. You're incubating a child, but True. During those weeks, I don't know, do you have any initial thoughts of what it might feel like for you to hear someone else co-hosting with me during that time?
No, I'm excited because I think that, again, we just get so busy in the day-to-day of making and producing and promoting this show that sometimes it's hard to take that step back and look at it from a listener's perspective or our audience's perspective. And I think that will give me a rare opportunity to do that. And also, I'm really excited just to hear more of what the co-host that you're going to have step in for me, what she has to say and what her perspective is on things. And of course, the dynamic between you guys, because this is that would give it away. I'm not going to give, that would be too big of a hint. We want to keep it a surprise for you guys. But yeah, you guys are going to love it. It's going to be great. She's someone that has been on the show already and also has close ties with a lot of the other people that have been on this show. So yeah, she is in many ways a part of the TFAW family. And it will be exciting for me to kind of step back and put myself in the bleachers no, not the bleachers. Sorry, the stands, put myself in the stands to listen instead of be the one yapping.
There you go. Yeah. Just probably the first 5 episodes of when you listen to the show at the beginning, now you could actually just hear an episode get published and be wow, I'm taking a break. There's someone else doing this. And yeah, I like everything you described about this upcoming co-host without giving it away. Cause it's I know what you're saying, but the listeners don't know. They're wait, who is this? Who do they know? And
stay tuned.
Yeah. We're extremely excited about it. So without further ado, we just want to share some general updates with all of you today. And not really general, more so really exciting updates. Nani and I have been, as we've been talking about since episode 100, we are focusing more of our time with our private podcast show. Well, first and foremost, our membership program at biasboba.com that comes with our private podcast show, Tsismis with Jen and Nani. And so in the initial weeks when we launched, we first started by doing live workshops with the Filipino Momcast. So shout out to Rowan, Lynn, and Marianne for helping us with that. And I think one of the next releases on Tsismis with Jen and Nani is going to be the fireside chat that's going to be added and archived onto the show. So that's actually still available for all of you. If you want to see that fireside chat with the Filipino Momcast, it's still available on Facebook and YouTube at the time of this recording, but that's eventually going to be, archived, like we said, taken down from public eyes, and put into our private podcast show. But this last weekend, Nani, we had released our first original episode for Tsismis with Jen and Nani, an interview with you and your dad. So any initial thoughts?
Yeah. Well, before I get into my initial thoughts, I just want to clarify for anyone who might be confused on the process of getting access, because we promote that in the newsletter and our, communication with you guys a lot, to sign up and join us over there on Tsismis with Jen and Nani. And I just want to clarify the process for anyone who might be confused. You sign up on biasboba.com. When you go to biasboba.com, you can either show a one-time support, so AKA bias 1, 2, 3, etc. cups of boba as a one-time payment, or you can click on the membership tab and subscribe to be a monthly member. And after you do that, you'll receive an email that will give you instructions and a unique RSS link to add our private podcast, Tsismis with Jen and Nani, manually to your preferred podcast platform, which is where this new exclusive content will be uploaded and will just automatically populate for you in your feed the way that all your other podcasts do. So for anyone that might have been confused on the process or tried to sign up in the past, that is how it goes. And that's how you can gain access. So yes, this is the first interview that we have released on Tsismis with Jen and Nani that is not publicly available for a limited time first before we archive it. It's just exclusively available to the members over there on Tsismis with Jen and Nani, which you gain access to through biasboba.com. And it's a very special interview. It happened to work out for the timing of Father's Day this
we didn't plan that.
Day. We didn't plan that. It just actually organically happened that way. Mm-hmm. And I think the stars just aligned because this is my dad's last Father's Day before he becomes, well, he already has grandkids, but none that are like blood of his own and none that are boys. So I know that means a lot to him. In the interview, we talk a lot about where my name comes from, where I got the name Nani, because if you hadn't already noticed, that's not my government name. In true Filipino tradition, I have many, many names. And my dad, when my mom was pregnant with me, he actually was really counting on me being a boy. And we won't spill the tea here, but we'll just say, if you listen to that interview, you'll understand why I thank God every day that I was not a boy because of what he wanted to name me. You guys, it's bad.
Yeah. And he still likes that name. I think he still would have chosen it.
He's still very attached to it. He tells me that he's going to call my child that. And yeah, we're going to be fighting if he does. But anyway, yeah, it's a fun episode that is really meaningful. Obviously, I hold it very close to my heart because you guys have heard me talk about my dad a lot on the show. He's probably like the number one person that I've talked about on this show and done a lot of unpacking with. We've had, our relationship has evolved a lot throughout the years, and it's just becoming more and more like close in like such a different kind of intimate way now that I'm an adult and we're able to communicate a lot better. So it was just really special to me to be able to capture almost 2 hours of that.
Yeah.
Of our dynamic on the show and share that with you guys. And also it is, I think, the perfect way for us to kick off like some of the original content that we're going to be sharing. Original content meaning content that's just produced by Jen and I, that's not hosted by one of our guests, such as the workshops with the Filipino Momcasts, because it kind of exemplifies the type of content that we're going to be diving into on this show to expand the cultural narrative of the Pinay and really survey that narrative from different perspectives. So not just sharing our stories, but asking the people that are closest to us, such as Filipino American men or non-Filipino, whoever else people that are close to us in our lives that can weigh in on what it's like to be around, be with, interact with, love a Filipino American woman, but who are not Filipino American women. So I think that is a really fun way. The Father's Day special with my dad was a really fun way to kick that off and welcome in a new perspective. I think we both learned a lot, and it was also just in true like family fashion to have him on as the first episode and for you guys to finally be able to meet. That was also a really special moment for me. And I know that we'll, probably have a lot of other opportunities now for you guys to connect. But like he said in that interview, you're part of our family now. So, and he's part of our family. So we're just one big happy family.
Yeah. And, when he said your family to me directly, I can't tell you how much that meant to me. And I know that probably was already a given, it probably was, but for him to verbally say that, it meant a lot to me. And it still kind of echoes in my ears to think like, wow, I know Nani sees me as family, but for your dad, for your family to see me as family, even all the ones I've had the fortune of getting to know really this year, I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of your family this year alone. And I'm grateful. It's nice to know, considering how, and I talk about this quite often on our show, how uprooted I still feel living here in the East Coast and trying to, create a sense of home for myself. And, this is something that this is a topic I eventually want to talk about exclusively on Tsismis with Jen Nani. But just the hardship I've faced out here, being able to try and make friends that are Filipino, and that's a whole thing in itself. I know that sometimes, and actually your dad hinted at this, which we'll probably save for another conversation, but sometimes like the most discrimination we get is within our community, like the most bullying, sometimes it happens within our own community. And I can say that firsthand, even in my own upbringing with a lot of my relatives, unfortunately, but it's quite interesting to experience it in my adult life when I have chosen people to be my friends versus, being biologically or being related to people. And it's something that even till now, I'm still processing, and it's kind of like brought me to this place, or I'm actually at a place right now in my life where I don't even want to think about my personal life, as sucky as that sounds. Like, I just want to be purposeful right now. I just want to produce content. I want to serve and be here for all of you, because I feel like I've done enough work with myself in therapy and all these things and trying to establish myself that I'm good. I'm going to take a mental break in that department and focus on things that I can control. And so if I sound a little gloomy than normal, I mean, one, my voice is raspy. I don't know why. I think I've just been talking a lot, but I feel a little defeated, Nani. Like, I feel a little defeated trying to build a sense of home out here in a sense. And so I will share more about that in Tsismis with Jen and Nani, but I've been, we've been talking about recording this for a while, but I still have been trying to kind of have a clear head about it. But I'm looking forward to that time when I'm ready to just talk it out with you and unpack it and, share it with all of you on Tsismis with Jen and Nani, because, in the TFAW Project, we are very communal, very, we love connecting. We're very relational. We're all about amplifying your stories. And with Tsismis with Jen and Nani, we just want you to know who we are on a deeper level and what we actually go through in our day to day. So just like what Nani was talking about, like our interactions with, let's say, non-Filipino American women, and just what it is like to be us. And so I'm just excited that we are creating this platform for ourselves and for our community to have these candid conversations that, I don't think the public will fully understand, or they might take out of context, Nani. And so I'm glad that we're creating this. I'm glad that your dad's episode already got a number of downloads, and it's just great to see what we are growing here, because, just like what we talk about in our paper, Panay Podcasters, which you can read now at panaypodcasters.com. Our mission here is to build a self-sustaining community so that we can set our standards for success and excellence and professionalism and everything. And I just love, slowly but surely we are doing that now. So any thoughts on what I shared?
Yeah, no, I think it all just sums up with what you said about being really purposeful with your time and attention right now. And I think that we can find ourselves kind of scattered or all over the place or thrown off by interactions that we have with people who maybe don't move as intentionally as we do. And when we try to force those kinds of connections, I think that's when we frustrate ourselves, and it becomes, like an internal conflict for us, which is what I think you were kind of trying to hint at with the content that we're going to be diving into about on Tsismis with Jen and Nani soon. Gosh, we just have so much Tsismis for you guys.
We do. I love how you said that. We have so much, y'all. You have no idea.
Seriously.
No idea.
I mean,
we got
because
a lot.
TFAW is such a uplifting and inspirational platform where we're just all about supporting each other and, creating sisterhood basically. But we don't want to create this false impression of our community and ignore or negate the fact that not everyone operates like that. Most people actually don't.
Yeah.
We here at TFAW, I think a rare community of sisters who move with that intention and who are looking to support one another. And, outside of that, our community is still really plagued by that crab mentality and that just nastiness, in how we've learned to interact with each other. And apparently it's not just amongst us women, it also is amongst the men. And in the Filipino community, it can get really bad. The reason I have other family members who I've wanted to bring onto the show who are more hesitant and more resistant to do it, just because, like you, a lot of what they know about identifying as a Filipino American woman is trauma related, and they don't want to associate with that part of themselves. They don't want to look at it. They don't want to deal with it. They just want to, fit in somewhere else and find belonging somewhere else, which is fair.
Right. I agree.
So I think our purpose with Tsismis with Jen and Nani, the platform entirely, is to really uncover those like uglier sides of ourselves and unpack that, because while we need every story and life lesson that we share here on TFA, we also need to acknowledge that that's not the way we've been taught to be. And we have to acknowledge that. We have to uncover that. We have to talk about it, because that's also part of our experience at the end of the day.
Yeah. And beautifully said. Everything that you just said, there was like a key word that you said there, like how intentional we are with our relationships, unfortunately, doesn't always align with other people, and I get it. One thing I've learned about myself throughout the years is I'm not a group person. Like, it is really hard for me to have like a group of friends, because for me, like being a podcaster, being an introvert, to me, the way that I connect with people is through this kind of dialogue, and being with one or two people at a time, where, from my understanding of groups, and, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes it's just about being a part of the noise, like it's about just being a part of that collective kind of group think, whether it's you're all coming together to, have dinner, you're all coming together to, just do like karaoke, to do like activities where it's not really about like introspection. And that's hard for me. Like, that's just hard for me. And I think that the pandemic has extremely amplified that for me, to have extremely intentional relationships, because we are in this Zoom world, like you wouldn't be on this call unless you wanted to be on this call and actually talk to this person. It's not like an office space where you can like run into your colleagues and, in
the hallway,
like have small talk or what have you. And you've mentioned this in the past, Nani, it's like our relationships, our interactions have become more intentional because of the pandemic. And I'm grateful for it. At the same time, I feel like we have been so fortunate in a sense to build this bubble for ourselves that when we step outside of it and we don't have that same thing reciprocated, that intentional way of engaging with someone, it's very off-putting.
Yeah, it's like, hurtful.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it as well. I feel like you're just like, you're like defending me right now, but no, it's true.
Always.
And, well, thank you. I mean, I know that was obvious, but thank you. But yeah, it's just the second quarter of the year for me has been focused on healing and recovery and self-acceptance from just everything that I've really put a lot of intentional work into, especially at the start of 2020 before everything went crazy. And I was like, this is going to be my year to socialize. This is going to be my year to like, get to know people. And so, yeah, it'll be really cool to have this further discussion on Tsismis with Jen and Nani. And I know it sounds like we're talking about like the darker, uglier side of being a Filipino American woman, but it's really about just the deeper side, like the more, the other layers to us that we feel that Nani and I just feel more comfortable sharing it with you on a private podcast. And so anyway, with that said, if you want to get access to that, we have a giveaway. I mean, obviously you can visit us on biasboba.com right now and sign up as a member. I realize a lot of what we have to do, Nani, is educate our community on what biasboba.com is. And so when you visit biasboba.com, and I know Nani mentioned this already, I'm just going to reiterate it because why not? I learned things in repetition, I attain knowledge through repetition. When you go on biasboba.com, there's going to be two types of ways that you can support us. One is, I think it's just called supporter. So one of the options is to support. And support is really just a one-time, like buy Jen and Nani a cup of boba. It could be 1 to infinity numbers of boba. But essentially, it's a one-time opportunity for you to support us, or whenever you feel like it. You support us once, and then a couple episodes later, you feel moved by that episode. So you want to go back on biasboba.com and buy us another boba. But that's really what it means when you support us. A membership, on the other hand, is a monthly or annual commitment to, supporting our show overall and really helping it progress. And we talked about this at our workshop at the Bulasan Center conference, as well as in PanayPodcasters.com, about like, if you want us to advocate for you to amplify your voices, your stories, like our community as a whole, we encourage you to support Filipina-led media. Yeah. So if you sign up for the membership, you'll be showing us your consistent support to our show, as well as get access to our private podcast, Tsismis with Jen and Nani. So right now we have a set monthly or annual price for the membership, but we are going to give a giveaway. And so if you want to support us between now till whenever for a limited time. We don't have like the set date yet, but if you support us even just one time on biasboba.com, and because Nani is going to be going on maternity leave soon and she has a delivery date in mind, but who knows? Who knows if she'll actually deliver on the actual day. If you support us on biasboba.com and you guess when her delivery date is, you will be entered into a raffle to possibly have access to our membership for a discounted price. So Nani, sell our listeners on this.
Okay. So you guys, if you go on biasboba.com and you decide to buy us 1, 2, 3, however many cups of boba that you want to show us how much you love us and support this show and want to contribute to, continuing to make it happen. When you go to do that, there's a note section in the bottom before you submit your contribution where you can leave us a note. My estimated due date from the doctor is August 16th. That's my 38-week due date. But, babies can come whenever the hell they want to come, basically. So
there's a hint.
Yeah, given how active and crazy he has been, keeping me up all night long, 24/7, karate chopping me in my rib cage, we want you guys to leave in that note section below when you think he'll come. Do you think he'll come before August 16th, after? And whoever gets it closest after he actually arrives, for a limited time, we're going to be giving away a discounted membership price. Like Jen said, the typical price or the price that's posted on biasboba.com right now is $9 a month, or you can pay in advance annually for the entire year if you would prefer to do that. But for a limited time, we're doing a giveaway special where when you buy us, however many cups of boba and leave us a note guessing when baby Hero, which is the name of my baby, if you haven't already gotten that, is going to actually arrive, we are going to do a special discounted membership price for you guys for a limited time. So make sure that you take advantage of that, because really our priority is to get you over there on that platform to join us in the TJN, Tsismis with Jen and Nani community, because that's really where we're shifting more of our time and energy to producing content for. We're still going to be here on TIFA, but you are going to see the interaction here in this community kind of dwindle as we put more into Tsismis with Jen and Nani, which is already in transition. So we want to make sure that you guys don't miss out on any of that. And again, our priority is for you to join us over there. So we want to really, really reinforce that to you.
Yeah. And, the important thing at the end of the day, we want to be in community with you, and I mention this quite often. It's part of why we have commentaries in between actual interviews, because we are slowing down. And this is also my invitation for other podcasters or other people who are listening to the show who feel like they want more representation in the podcasting community to start your own show. Because as you can see here, Nani and I, our bandwidth is lessening and lessening. Like we have to really focus on our livelihood and really advocating for Filipino-led media. And part of that is, creating some kind of monetization model. And so if you want to be in support of that, help us out here. Come support our show at biasboba.com, or hey, create your own show, right? Like that. Again, if you read our academic paper, PanayPodcasters.com, we talk all about the importance of starting a podcast and exercising your voice in this platform. And, how this is such a hidden gem to be able to do that in a noisy online world right now, where it almost seems like there's nothing but like sensational headlines, clickbait, and just things taken out of context. But podcasting is one of the last places, I think, in the internet right now where you could actually hear a full story and not take it so much out of context, is how I see it. So anyway, we'd love to have your support, just like what Nani said. I'm just going to repeat it a third time if I reiterate what she said, but go ahead and support us there. Guess what Nani's delivery date is going to be, other than the one that she just announced with you. And for funsies, say what time too. What time of the day do you think Hero is going to arrive? Because I know for me, I think I have to check my birth certificate, but I think I either arrived at midnight or like in the after, like at noon. But I know for me, it was like 12:01 something. Like I don't remember, but that's always fun too, right? To kind of know what time the baby comes comes. So feel free to do that as well. And we look forward to seeing you supporting us on biasboba.com and hearing what your guest is going to be. So we don't have a specific deadline on this yet. So feel free to, as you hear this recording, to guess now at biasboba.com. All right. Well, anyway, so in wrapping up, Nani, I just want to share how excited, nervous, the mixed feelings I have really overall in things opening up again and seeing people just in the restaurants and, almost feeling like the pandemic never happened. But, you still see, people like half and half wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, what have you, when we're out and about. But all that being said, I have been cooped up in my place just like many of us, for a very long time, really since the start of January or start of 2020. And I finally have some travel plans to make my way from the East Coast to the Midwest to the West Coast. And so if you all want to meet in person, I'm not going to tell you exactly why I'm going to be in this area, but I'm just going to tell you I'm going to be in this area at these certain times. And if you happen to be in this area, please reach out to me. I would love to coordinate a time to meet you and grab some boba and meet in person. Nani and I always talked about how eventually we want to do a tour of our show and go to the places where a lot of our listeners are. But in the meantime, this is what I'm going to do, at least, especially while Nani is experiencing motherhood for the first time. This is going to be my travel plans. But go ahead and put this on your calendar and let me know if you happen to be in this area. So beginning of July, which is like literally around the corner, I'm going to be in Columbus, Ohio. So if you are in Columbus, Ohio, I'm planning on being there, I think, for the first week or two. Feel free to reach out to me and maybe we can coordinate a time to meet up. Second location, Nani, because I'm just going all over the place.
Yes,
Second one is, and without details, because I'm not allowed to publicly announce why I'm going to be here yet. I'm just giving y'all the heads up I'm going to be here. So in September, from September 11th to the 15th, I am going to be in Orlando, Florida. And I'm a bit nervous, Nani, because I don't know if it's going to be really humid at that time. I think September is going to be a little safe with the weather, but I'm going to be in Orlando, Florida from September 11th to 15th. So if you happen to be in the area, if you happen to live there, I would love, love, love to find some time to grab boba. I wonder if they have boba shops there. That's what I always wonder.
I feel like they have boba everywhere now.
Okay. Sometimes I wonder, other than California, I was like, are there boba shops? But then again,
it's culturally appropriated enough for you to be able to find boba. Or maybe I'm just saying that because I'm spoiled and I live in California and there's literally boba every other block where I am. But on second thought, I'm not too sure about other states. So you guys let us know, text us and let us know.
You let us know. So like I said, September 11 to 15, I'll be in Orlando, Florida. And then in October, from October 14th to the 17th, I am going to Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, I know that we have some listeners in Arizona. So if you're hearing this and if you happen to be in Scottsdale around that time, mid-October, go ahead and reach out to me. And I would love to schedule some time to grab some boba. And last but not least, Nani, I have plans to come back to California in springtime 2022.
Yes.
Because I heard that a couple weddings might be going on at that time. Not going to reveal them all, one of them being my brother's. And I can't wait. I can't wait because I think that'll be almost 2 years since you and I have been in person.
Yeah.
So yeah. And, I hope I don't have it all hashed out yet, obviously, because that's like a year from now at this point for the most part. But I hope to be there for a couple of weeks and visit family and friends and fans and listeners and, of the show. So I thought I'd share all that, let you all know that I am out and about and I want to meet you all and thank you all for, supporting our show. And, that's it. I don't know. Nani, any thoughts on my travel plans?
Springtime 2022 is still a little bit of a ways away, but I would love to, last time that you came to California and you came here to the Bay, we did a really, really special event where we had a number of you guys come and do a special recording with us at an Airbnb that Jen was staying at when she came here. And so I would love to do something like that again the next time you're in California, because obviously we want to take advantage of that as much as possible. I want to take advantage of it in terms of just, getting to see you and spend time with you in real life versus on Zoom. But I also would love to include whoever wants to join us at that time.
Yeah.
And, whether we do it down in San Diego where your family is, up here in the Bay where my family is, or meet somewhere in between, I think it would be a great opportunity to get some of our California audience involved in another live recording, or at the very least, just a party.
Yeah.
An Airbnb party like we did last time, or we can go somewhere, or, like I said, it's that while away still. And so if you guys are in between the Bay and San Diego, and that's something that sounds up your alley, that you'd be interested in coming to hang out with us in some form and capacity, let us know. If there's something specific or a fun idea that you have for an activity that could be fun for a group of us, let us know. But we definitely want to plan for that when you do come to California. So make sure you save time for us.
Yes, we want to see you all. And we are very open to your ideas. If we want to make it like a mini event, I know at least for Nani and I or myself, I like small group settings. So I think that's one thing actually our attendees appreciated about our first live event. Like it was really just like 5 to 10 of us, maybe less, like somewhere in between that. And I just loved how intimate it was. And I want to keep that going. I want to keep it intimate. So I remember some of them said like, oh my gosh, I almost didn't come because I wasn't sure how crowded it was I wasn't sure like how many people were going to come. Yeah. And they were relieved to know that it was like, it's just us.
A smaller event. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're not talking about putting on like 100-person event, you guys. We're talking about like family party style, like living room, fireside chat type of thing. But again, if you guys have ideas for activities or places or locations or whatever, we're obviously in the beginning planning phases of that. We don't even know the dates that Jen will be here, but we know that it will be in the spring of 2022. And we will be hosting some kind of opportunity for you guys to come and meet us, hang out with us, spend time with us. If you're comfortable with it, do a little recording for the podcast.
And meet Hero.
And meet my baby. Yes. Everyone will be able to meet my baby by that time. So that'll also be really exciting. Yeah. Family party style.
Yes. Well, Nani, this felt like a really good episode. So I just want to thank you for our commentary for this week. And of course, for our listeners, we're reminding you that if you want to get a hold of us, you can text us at 415-484-8329. Again, that's 415-484-8329. If you are uncomfortable with sharing your number, you could always email us at jen@tfaproject.com or nani@tfaproject.com, or just support us on biasboba.com. I guess that's it. So other than that, thank you all. We love you, and we'll chat with you in the next episode. Tune in next time.
Bye.